Crafting a compelling fantasy world is one of the most thrilling and creative aspects of writing within this beloved genre. It allows writers to step beyond the boundaries of reality and imagine entire realms where the impossible becomes possible. From sprawling kingdoms with glittering castles to enchanted forests teeming with mythical creatures, fantasy worlds are often the heart of the story, a canvas upon which epic tales of heroism, magic, and discovery unfold. However, creating a setting that feels believable and immersive requires much more than simply assembling a mix of magical creatures, mysterious landscapes, and ancient lore. While these elements can certainly add charm and intrigue, the true art of world building lies in the ability to make the environment come alive. A well-crafted fantasy world doesn't just serve as a backdrop. It becomes a character in its own right, interacting with and shaping the narrative. Readers must feel as though they could step into this world, touch its textures, hear its sounds, and understand its rules. Achieving this level of believability requires attention to detail, a strong sense of internal logic, and a deep understanding of how the fantastical elements of the setting integrate with the everyday lives of its inhabitants. Writers must balance creativity with consistency, ensuring that every aspect of the world, from its history and geography to its culture and magic system, feels cohesive and authentic. In this video, we'll explore how to construct a fantasy world that doesn't just exist on the page, but also lingers in the minds of readers long after they've turned the final chapter. Whether you're dreaming up your first story or refining a setting you've been developing for years, these tips will help you create a fantasy world that captivates readers and stands out in the ever-expanding landscape of the genre. Let's embark on this imaginative journey together and unlock the secrets to building a setting that is as unforgettable as the characters and tales it holds.
Hi and welcome in our channel Alive Inc. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe for our future videos, and thank you very much in advance.
1. Start with a strong foundation. Define the rules of your world. Before diving into specifics, set the groundwork by defining the basic rules of your fantasy world. Ask yourself questions like, does magic exist? If so, how does it work? And who can use it? What are the physical laws? Are they similar to Earth's, or are there significant differences? Are there different races or species? What are their roles in this world? Having a clear understanding of your world's fundamental principles will help you maintain consistency throughout your story, which is crucial for believability. 2. Create a detailed history. Every world has a past, and your fantasy world should be no exception. Consider major historical events, wars, revolutions, discoveries, or disasters that shaped the world. Cultural development. How did different civilizations rise and fall? What beliefs or traditions emerged from their history? Legendary figures, heroes, villains, or mythical beings who are still remembered in the present-day narrative. Incorporate hints of this history into your story to add layers and depth. However, avoid info dumping. Let the history unfold naturally through characters and dialogue. 3. Develop diverse cultures and societies. A rich fantasy world often features multiple cultures with distinct traditions, languages, and worldviews. When crafting these, consider language. Do different regions or races speak unique dialects or entirely different languages? J.R.R. Tolkien famously created entire languages for Middle-earth, which added authenticity to his world. Traditions, festivals, ceremonies, or rituals can reveal much about a culture's values. Social structure. Think about class systems, gender roles, and political hierarchies. What groups hold power, and how is it distributed? Ensure that these cultures feel organic by reflecting how real societies evolved due to geography, resources, and historical events. 4. Design a living ecosystem. The physical environment of your world should feel alive and interconnected. Consider geography. Is the world comprised of continents, islands, or a single landmass? What natural features, like mountains, forests, or deserts, define the landscape? Climate. How do weather patterns vary across regions? Do magical forces affect the climate? Flora and fauna. Create unique plants and animals that thrive in different environments. Think about how they fit into the ecosystem and how they might influence daily life. These elements help establish a sense of place, making your world feel tangible. 5. Incorporate magic thoughtfully. Magic is a hallmark of fantasy, but it needs clear rules and limitations to avoid becoming a deus ex machina. Define sources of magic. Does it stem from nature, deities, ancient artifacts, or something else entirely? Costs and consequences. What does it take to use magic, and what risks does it carry? For example, in Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series, magic users burn metals to fuel their powers, providing a fascinating balance of strengths and limitations. Accessibility. Is magic available to everyone, or only a select few? How does this affect societal dynamics? By establishing a coherent magic system, you ensure that it enhances the story rather than undermining it. 6. Establish conflicts and power struggles. No world is free from conflict, and these struggles often drive the story. Consider political tensions, rival factions, kingdoms, or empires vying for power. Resource scarcity, wars over land, food, or magical resources. Cultural clashes, differing values or beliefs leading to misunderstandings or hostility. These conflicts make your world feel dynamic and provide opportunities for character development and plot progression. 7. Make the mundane magical. Believability often lies in the details. Think about how ordinary aspects of life are influenced by the fantastical elements of your world. Food. What do people eat, and how do they prepare it? Do magical ingredients play a role in cuisine? Daily life. How do people work, travel, and entertain themselves? How do magical or technological advancements affect these activities? Economy. What currencies are used? Are goods traded through barter, coins, or something more fantastical? Grounding your world in relatable, everyday details makes it easier for readers to suspend disbelief and connect with the story. 8. Use sensory details. Engage readers by describing your world through the 5 senses. Sight. Paint vivid pictures of your landscapes, architecture, and characters. Sound. What does a bustling market or enchanted forest sound like? Smell. The pungent aroma of herbs in a potion shop or the salty breeze of a coastal town. Touch. The texture of a dragon's scales or the smooth surface of an ancient artifact. Taste. The sweet, tangy flavor of an exotic fruit or the bitterness of a magical elixir. These details immerse readers in the setting and make it feel more real. 9. Explore moral and philosophical questions. Fantasy worlds often serve as a lens through which to examine real-world issues. Think about ethics of magic. Should magic be used for personal gain, or does it come with responsibilities? Cultural identity. How do different groups define themselves, and how do they view outsiders? Environmental impact. Are the resources that fuel magic depleting the world? What are the consequences? Addressing these questions can add depth and make your story more thought-provoking. 10. Let the characters shape the world. A fantasy world is only as engaging as the characters who inhabit it. Ensure your protagonists and antagonists interact meaningfully with their environment. How do their backgrounds reflect their cultures? How do they navigate societal norms or challenge them? How does the world influence their goals, fears, and motivations? By grounding your characters in the setting, you create a more cohesive and believable story. 11. Use maps and visual aids. A well-drawn map can help both you and your readers understand the layout of your world. Maps provide a visual reference for geography and key locations, clues about the relationships between regions, e.g., trade routes, contested borders, opportunities to hint at unexplored areas, sparking curiosity. If you're not an artist, many online tools can help you create professional-looking maps. 12. Test your world's logic. As you build your world, step back periodically to ask, does this make sense within the rules I've established? Are there inconsistencies that could confuse readers? How do various elements of the world interact with one another? You can also share your world with beta readers or writing groups to get fresh perspectives and spot potential flaws. 13. Be selective about what you show. While it's tempting to share every detail you've created, too much exposition can overwhelm readers. Focus on revealing information that's relevant to the plot or characters, and trust your audience to fill in the gaps. A well-timed reveal, whether it's a secret about a character's past or the hidden purpose of a magical artifact, can add intrigue and keep readers invested. 14. Evolve your world over time. World building doesn't end once you start writing. As your story unfolds, be open to refining your setting based on the needs of the plot and characters. However, make sure these changes align with the established logic and history of your world. 15. Draw inspiration from real life. Many of the most memorable fantasy worlds borrow elements from real-world history, mythology, and cultures. For example, George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire draws heavily from medieval Europe. Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea explores themes of balance and duality inspired by Taoist philosophy. Researching different cultures and historical periods can spark ideas while grounding your world in familiar concepts. Conclusion. Creating a believable fantasy world is a labor of love, requiring creativity, research, and attention to detail. By defining clear rules, crafting a rich history, and focusing on the interplay between characters and their environment, you can transport readers to a world they'll never want to leave. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see you all in the next video. The best fantasy worlds aren't just settings, they're characters in their own right, shaping and being shaped by the stories that unfold within them. Embrace the challenge and let your imagination soar.